Kalabar was older.
He just looked older. The mom looked older too. Like, they just got actors that looked old. I don't think that they were actually
that old.
She kind of did.
Dang, that's crazy.
I mean, welcome to the Point of View podcast. My name is Asada Haman.
And my name's Yosa.
And here we are today for another episode.
Yep. As you can see, we are very much not in our normal clothes. We are dressed up because it is the season of Halloween.
I feel like the last time we dressed up for an episode was for Easter. Yeah. And that's because we recorded it on Sunday after Easter Sunday. Yeah. And we were just like, well,
might as well keep the spirit, right?
Yep.
But we are dressed in Halloween outfits. Little Red Riding Hood right here. And as you can see, I'm a witch. I don't have my hat right now, unfortunately.
No. But these are very old costumes. While we were trying to search for costume for this episode, we're like, I've been wearing the same costume for like 10 years. Yosa doesn't even have a costume, so she had to borrow it from our younger sisters. So
I feel like I've either made a lot of costumes, I put things together, so I haven't really and also the costumes don't really fit me in Party City and all the Halloween stores anymore.
Spirit Halloween.
Because it's even the adult ones, I'm too big for them. But
no, for real.
In tribute of the spirit of the season, the Halloween season, we are talking about the movie Halloweentown, which came out in 1998, which I just found out 27 years ago. That is crazy. Insane. I don't even believe that. I can't even believe that.
But it makes sense because it was also an integral part of our childhood. And you're almost, in 2 years you'll be 20. I'm almost 23. I
mean, I for sure knew it was old, but I didn't think it was
Yeah, when you hear 1990, it's that sounds so old.
Which isn't that old, but for us, I feel 1998 is
whoa.
That's a whole different I don't even know.
It's a whole different number.
Yeah, it's that's a
not
whole
2000s, it's 1990s. Yeah.
But we're talking about the movie Halloweentown. For those of you that haven't heard of it, I think it was a pretty big movie back in the day, back when we were kids.
Disney Channel. It was a Disney original.
Yeah, the Disney original. They know what they're doing.
They do.
Halloweentown follows this story of this 13-year-old girl named Marnie. It is her 13th birthday, and basically, her grandma comes and basically is kind of, talking to her, and she discovers on Halloween night that she has, this hidden power, and she realizes that her mother and her grandmother are both witches. Her father is not present. I think he's dead, right? The father had died a long time ago, and so the grandma has always been kind of, weird, a little eccentric. They love the grandma, but also, the grandma has so many weird stories and just, weird things to her. And
weird tendencies.
Yeah. And so, on this night, Marnie discovers she's a witch. The grandma wants to take her back to this town called Halloweentown, which she'll be able to, teach her all this magic. She'll be surrounded by magical people. And the mom is absolutely not. Her dad was a normal person. He was a human being. That's exactly what she's going to be. And so, Marnie's upset, but it's her mom. She's 13, whatever. And so the grandma's okay, I need you to still come back with me because Halloweentown is, dying, basically. People are disappearing, things are happening, I need you to come with me. So the mom comes with her, and the mom kind of just chalks it up. The mom's name is Gwen. She kind of just chalks it up to, people are leaving. She's I don't really care, Mom. I know this is where I grew up, but, whatever. I have kids to take care of. I have a family, so she leaves. And so while the grandmas basically head back to this Halloweentown, Marnie and her brother Dylan and her little brother Sophie, without their knowledge actually, her and Dylan basically follow the grandma Aggie on this little broom thing to this Halloweentown. The little sister Sophie kind of sneaks on board too, and she also follows her siblings who are following the grandma to Halloweentown. So the grandma realizes that the kids are there, and she's okay, well, I might as well teach you about magic. And she basically is wanting to bring up Marnie to be able to destroy this evil that's making people disappear. And the mom finds out. Mom and the grandma end up getting trapped by this dark evil. And so Marnie and her siblings basically have to fight on their own with very immature and base level magic to fight this evil and save their family and all of Halloweentown. So great story.
Great movie. Great story. Just honestly, it is my favorite Halloween movie. It's just, it's so good. I used to watch it every year, a couple times a year, and now it's just like on Halloween time comes, like I don't watch anything else. Especially as I've gotten older, I'm like, Halloween movies are cool, but like I don't really watch any of them. Halloweentown is always one. I open Disney Plus, I'm like, Halloweentown.
Yeah, what's that one on Disney Plus called with the 3 witches and the boy?
I've
watched that one. It's pretty good.
I was gonna say Cronies, but that doesn't sound right.
Goonies. I can look it up real quick.
But while she's looking that up, to get into the episode, one thing we wanted to talk about was like how like the Cromwell family, like their family dynamic basically drives the story. Like we see the
Hocus Pocus.
Yes, Hocus Pocus with like the 3 witch.
They made a second movie and it was terrible. Like 20 years later, I was like, ooh.
They always are. Like they can never do them right.
Not Incredibles 2 though. Not Incredibles 2.
Incredibles 2. Oh, I love that. We should talk about that movie.
We should. That's a good movie.
That's a really good movie. I love Incredibles, Incredibles 2. Maybe just combine them into one episode.
There you go.
Stay tuned for that. But yeah, the Cromwell family, like basically like this whole idea of like family and love, and like you just see this like partnership with the siblings too. Like, you know, Dylan almost seems like he doesn't care. He's like whatever. It's
like
my older sister.
Too cool for school. But I mean, he's actually
he's the nerd. He's like just too cool for anything else. He's like, I'm too smart for all of this nonsense. But he's like, you still see that he comes and like rallies behind his sister. Is still a huge support, and I love that. Like, I love the Cromwell family. Like, I think we've talked about this on this podcast, but I really enjoy like OP, as you call it, overpowered main characters. And so like the Cromwell family is like, this is diving deep into like the other movies, but like they're basically this long lineage of like powerful witches and wizards. And so it's like they are like the original OP. And so you can see that with like how Marnie and Dylan and Sophie literally saved this town, like literally 13 and under year old kids. Oh, yeah. And they're able to save this town and be able to do all these things. It's incredible. But I also love Aggie. I love that you saw that like she was trying to like really respect her daughter's wishes of like keeping, you know, this wizarding, witching world, Halloweentown world out of her children's life. But like when she saw that her grandchildren had this desire, oh my goodness, to come and learn and figure out what's going on, like you saw that she like took them under her wing. And like I love that there was like this boundary of respect that I feel like sometimes people don't have, because a lot of times I feel like in life people try and impose their own opinions, like, oh, I want it to be this way, so I'm gonna make it this way. But you saw Aggie never tried to do that. She didn't agree with her daughter. She knew that her daughter's plan would fail because she's a mom. She's like, I know better than you. However, she still respected her daughter until, you know, the situation changed. And so I think Aggie's like, love Aggie. She's so funny.
Icon.
She is literally an icon. She's literally a queen.
Yeah, I know. Love her. I love the family dynamic. And I love how we kind of see in the later movies, but we won't get into that. But in this movie too, we see like the siblings almost step up to this role, because Marnie's kind of like, I mean, she is the main character. It's not one of those movies that like has a main character necessarily. Like she's supposed to be the main character.
I think she is the main character.
Like she's the main character, but it's also like there's so much that happens that it's like it's not just about her.
Yeah.
But like we see Dylan and her brother Dylan and their little sister Sophie. We see that they also kind of get like their own magic. Like we see in one of the scenes, Sophie is like chanting something. She also has magic, even though she's like, what, 7 or 8?
She's so little, like, yeah.
She's really young, and like Dylan even is able to help in a way. And so I think literally the power of like love or like family magic or whatever is literally what defeats like Kalabar, who ends up being like the like villain, like the one that's making all the people disappear in
who was also like the mayor, who was also in love with Marnie's mom
and was the ex of her like 30 years ago.
Yeah, and was still like in love with her. Like
he was like, come rule with me, and I'm like,
bro, okay,
you never got over an ex from like literally
it wasn't 30
decades.
It wasn't 30.
It had to at least have been 20,
maybe 20. But like Marnie's 13, it cannot be.
Yeah, but the mom's got to be in like her 30s, and she met the dad, right? I'm assuming when they were younger. Because, like,
I don't know.
It's at least, like, 25 years.
No,
like,
I would say maybe 20 years.
I'll say 25 because, like...
I guess we'll have to agree
he
to
was
disagree.
older, right? Kalabar was older.
He just looked older. The mom looked older, too. Like, they just got actors that looked old. I don't think that they were actually that old. She kind of did.
Dang, that's crazy.
I mean, if we're being honest, like, Marnie's mom or Gwen or whatever her name is, like...
I feel like she didn't look that old.
Maybe it was just, like, the outfit she was wearing.
Oh, yeah.
No,
but that was,
remembering,
like, the 90s.
No, what's coming to my mind is this is, like, in the fourth movie when Marnie goes to university at, a university in Halloweentown. And the mom's, like, a realtor. And her realtor outfit is just... horrendous, and like you see her talking because like basically
is she talking her daughter through the toilet
through a bird water pool thing.
The mom like couldn't catch a break.
The mom is like, honestly, like, Aggie is an icon. The mom is also an icon, but for a different reason.
The mom is just hilarious.
She's not cool. She's still an icon, but a weird icon.
Oh gosh, no, but I do think the mom is kind of, she's like a complicated character, especially in the first movie, because we see Marnie obviously has this power that's growing within her. She kind of has to step into this role of knowing that she does have to save Halloweentown. And it's even harder when her grandma and her mom are kidnapped. So like the only two people that could possibly help you are gone. And so I just love that Marnie just steps up to the role. And it's not just her, like, right, like I said before, Sophie and Dylan are there too, but Marnie,
and like people in Halloweentown also help them as well.
Like Luke and then like some of the other citizens.
Who is the, oh my gosh, the person the skeleton that drives.
Oh, I don't know, it creeped me out.
Remember when he started to change?
Yeah.
And he became so scary, and then like they ran. Oh my gosh, I remember as a kid, I was so scared.
I'm still scared.
Okay, it's not that scary, bro.
I'm still scared of that.
When's the last time you watched this movie?
Last year.
And you're still scared at...
It's so creepy.
It's creepy, but it's not that scary, and especially how old we are.
I watch like horror movies and thrillers that I'm less scared of.
You're less scared, and that is crazy.
Because it's like this inner trauma from when I'm like...
No, I'm sure. Like if I watch like Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone,
when his head like becomes.
I need to stop. Why do I keep saying Philosopher's Stone? It's not even that funny. It's like I keep saying that. It's Sorcerer's Stone. I know that, but I. Oh, Philosopher's Stone. Harry Potter, the first movie. We've talked about this on this podcast. We were so scared of that movie.
When the professor's like
head oh my gosh,
connected with Voldemort.
I will never forget watching that as a kid. And like us all screaming and like hiding behind the couch. Like it's
still like gross to this day. I see that. I'm like, no.
But yeah, no, I think going back to this, I think that it's really interesting. Marnie is such a fascinating character because like there's this like almost like childlike curiosity, but this teenage rebellion that's like mixed in. Because like this childlike curiosity about like her heritage and like, Mom, what do you mean that like we have powers? I'm not different than like, or I am different, and you know you tried to make me normal. But then there's also this like teenage rebellion where she's like literally running away from home. Takes her younger brother and runs away from home. And then like not on purpose, but also her sister runs away from her. Like she literally guided her whole, like all her siblings to like an unknown place that she doesn't even know like if the path there is safe. Like it's just like, it's crazy. Oh God. But you see that like she has this like desire to learn about herself and her heritage and who she is. And I think that is something that I've noticed in like real life. The people are so fascinated with knowing their ancestry and their heritage. Something that has especially become big in the past few years has been ancestry.com and like all the tests that like you can know where your like what your ethnicities are and everything. And especially people that are, I've noticed people that are either adopted or people that are African American. So, of course, they were descendant from slaves, so they don't know what country they're from. You almost see, like, when they take these tests and, like, a few weeks later, they're able to, like, learn about their heritage and, like, where they're truly from and their ancestors are from. Like, you almost see this, like this completeness. Like, there's, like, this joy. Sometimes they tear up. They're crying. They're like, I feel complete. Because, like, as much as we don't, as much as we try and stray away from that, I think it is important to know who we are and where we come from, because that is what we are. Like, the people that are our ancestors, the people that make us and our heritage into who we are, it's like important to know who that is, so that
100%.
sometimes we can move forward. And so I love that Marnie, just had this natural desire to know, I am a witch. I am this person. I have these powers. I'm not crazy. And, like, striving to look for that. I mean, was it in a mature way? Probably not. But
she was also 13.
She was also 13, like, literally, like, the beginning of teenagehood. And so, yeah, I like that idea of, like, searching for who we are, searching for our ancestors and, like, our heritage, because that is honestly what makes a lot of us.
Yeah, for sure. And I think, kind of just moving on to the next point, I like the idea of how, like, if you don't, like, understand who you are, sometimes it's easy to be manipulated by people, by influences, by whatever you can think of, whatever you can name. Because as we said before, the villain in this movie is a guy named Kalabar, but he is also the mayor. So, like, at first, like, the very first time we see Kalabar, he's kind of like, he's like very charismatic, he's like the mayor. He's
attractive, like
I'm
flirty.
gonna do this. Yeah. Like, I remember I dated your mom. Like, I'm like this amazing guy. And so you're not even gonna suspect him at first. And
do you feel like we suspected him as kids? I feel like we didn't.
I
think as a kid, I feel like if I watched it as an adult for the first time, I would 100% be oh yeah, you sus. But I feel like 8-year-old me.
No, I was definitely
I was
in the dark.
But I was like, oh my gosh, he's bad.
Like, that's the mayor. Like, no. But we see that, like, he's able to, like, use his words and twist his words, because he even gets, like, the townspeople on his side. Well, he's secretly, like, kidnapping some of them.
Yeah.
And, like, that just shows the dangers of, like, their charm, and how you really have to understand people in real life and in Halloweentown, because I mean, at first they didn't really suspect anything. I remember after they met, like, him, they were kind of like, oh, he's weird. Like, oh, we didn't like him. But it was like, what? It was kind of like brushed to the side.
I think that's how we thought as kids. Like, he's weird. Like, why does he act like that? But
yeah, like, why is he so weird and interested in, like, what they're doing?
Yeah.
But I think it shows that villains sometimes can be hidden in plain sight. Because I feel like a lot of movies, it's like, it's kind of obvious who the villain is. You're kind of thinking about it. And again, maybe as an adult, Kalabar is a very obvious villain.
But to the kid,
because like, that's who they are. They were children.
Yeah.
And like, most of the people watching were children. So it's like, these are the people he's fighting against. And so he seems very normal. He's also like he's not normal looking, but like in Halloweentown, there's like goblins and witches, and so people look like a certain way. There's green people, there's like purple people, there's skeletons, and so he's kind of one of the normal looking people. So he kind of fits in with like Marnie and like her family.
Yeah.
And so I think we just can't like ignore the plain sighted villains sometimes, because there's sometimes the people right in front of you that like may sweet talk you, very charismatic, charming, all the things you want to see, all the things you want to hear, but what's underneath it, what's behind it, they're controlling and pulling the strings that no one would have ever thought of.
Absolutely. I think that he's a prime example of the opposite of this phrase, don't judge a book by its cover, right? Or I guess maybe it is like, don't judge a book, because like, sometimes we say don't judge a book by its cover because you should read a book because it could be good. Yeah. But like, we shouldn't judge him by his cover of, oh, I look so charismatic, I'm great, I'm attractive, I'm a mayor, I'm in high places, but I'm truly inside, I'm
because the
evil.
Actual photo of him is so ugly. Like, this is him like transformed, remember?
Yeah, I remember. He was so scary. Like, oh my goodness.
I don't know how to focus, but
it was
like, that's so gross. Like, he was green and ugly. And
I don't think that's the real him, right?
Yeah, like he was like put on a mask of like normality.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
And like that's just so true. Like there's so many people in real life and so many people I think in charge, especially like I mean, I can't speak for other countries. Obviously, we could see it from the news for other countries, but especially in the US, there's so many people. They put on this charismatic mask, or they put on this mask of helping you, or I know better than you, or I know what to do for you. And you think like, oh, this is the person I need to support, I need to go after. But in reality, they're this ugly person inside that doesn't care for you, only cares about their own wishes and their own ambitions. And so I think it's so important. I think he's a prime example of how leadership, we shouldn't judge leadership by the cover that they try and put out, because it's not always real. A lot of the times it isn't real. And we should, I think, trust the people around us, our family, the closest friends and everything.
The citizens of Halloweentown.
The citizens, because those are the people that are, are getting tricked, right? It's not that they meant to support his plan, because do you think they like that people around them were disappearing? No.
I have no idea.
But it almost seemingly seemed like they did. They were like, oh, we're in support of Kalabar, he's great. But they didn't know because they were tricked. And I think that's just a prime example of, I think, what's happening in this world. That so many are getting tricked by the evils that are around us that are hidden behind the massive charisma and grace and words and power.
Yeah, for sure. It's really easy to fall under the spell almost of Kalabar or whoever you want to put in place of him, because you don't know you're under it until you're out of it, right? Like,
for real.
Because I mean, that everyone always says, "Oh, I'll never be the one that's tricked," but it's like you never know. They might say one thing. Kalabar seemed like he was helping the citizens on the outside. He's this great mayor doing all these things to help Halloweentown, when he was the one destroying it from the inside out.
Yeah, for real. Inside out is the best way to say it.
Yeah, literally. And I think just another thing that the movie really portrays, Halloweentown really portrays really well, is like believing in magic. Because in the ending scene where like Kalabar transformed into like the green ugly version, the true version of himself, and we see like it's basically just like Marnie kind of against him. We kind of see like at first it almost looks like she's gonna lose, but then she has Dylan come in and Sophie comes in and even Luke and all these like other townspeople come in, and they're like helping to like almost like tether and like strengthen her magic, her power, because it shows that like her magic wasn't just coming from her, it was coming from being able to save all of these people. And magic is just stronger when you work together, and that goes for hope, for life in general, because it's not just talking about like magic, but it's talking about believing in like your own capabilities and who you are as a person, the magic within you, and how you can share that and it can grow with other people. And I think like Marnie, we should really try to let other people lift us up, but not also forget like the magic that we have. Like kind of like the mom, like Gwen. She kind of like abandoned magic for this real world, which was fine. She married.
She made her own choices. Yeah.
She made her own choices. She had kids, but she realized that like, I may have chosen this, but I can't choose this for my kids. They also have to make their own path. And I think she also had stopped believing in the magic too. In a way, she tried to distance herself from what she knew. And at the end, she realized, like, this is who I am, and I can't forget, and I have to believe in the magic of Halloweentown, of who I am, and my daughter, and my kids, and everything.
I know. I love, like, as you can tell, we absolutely love Halloweentown. Like, we have, like Yosa said, we both watched it last year, and not together, though, which is funnily enough. But we both watched it.
Well, on Halloween, I was trick-or-treating, so.
Oh, yeah, me too. Like, last year, I was, 21 years old? I was trick-or-treating.
Senior in high school, I was still trick-or-treating.
It's free candy.
Went as Rowley from Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
It's really funny. We should post it.
Oh my gosh,
on our story.
Hilarious.
Check out our Instagram and YouTube to see the picture, because it's hilarious.
Throwback, bro. Last year.
No, like, I mean, like, my whole thing is, like, people are like, oh, once you get to a certain age, you're too old for Halloween. You shouldn't trick or treat. And I'm like, half the time I go out in public and people think I'm like 16, 17 years old. So like, why don't I just embody that? Take my sister that's 10 years younger than me, take her trick or treating, and then get free candy on my own. And I have candy for the rest of the year.
Exactly.
It's called big brain energy.
Hey, I want free candy. Sorry.
But yeah, no. I love the idea of like this idea of hope, right? Magic is this hope in the real world because we don't have magic. As much as I wish that we had spells and all of this, like, can you like move my stuff for me?
Move the remote towards me so I don't have to stand up. Like,
no, that's what we have younger siblings for.
Yeah.
Hey, can you go grab that for me? Hey, can you do this for me?
And they do it.
Yep.
Such good little kids.
Such good little kids. But then our parents do it's like, I feel like it's a generational thing. Like,
our parents make us do it.
And then we make the younger siblings do it. And then the youngest sibling is just...
They're just screwed.
They're just screwed. Matter. You don't have a person to boss around.
So you can only get it for yourself.
Yeah, sorry. But this idea of like hope is magic. I love that it wasn't just Marnie on her own, because like I also feel like that makes it so realistic, because I also feel like in so many of these fantasy things, it's like these 13-year-olds have like all this magic and power in this world that they have never trained. They don't know how to use it. Like, how are you able to use this magic?
Like abandon their family. Like they don't.
Yeah, it's like this whole crazy thing. But like, I love how realistic it is that Marnie couldn't do it on her own because she is a child. She needed her family. She needed friends to support her, and you saw that this support pushed her to be able to defeat the evil, to be able to expose the mask of great as not great. Yeah. And I love how there was this trust. And I think that in our lives, I feel like we say this, I feel like I'm starting to sound like a broken record almost every episode. I feel like you need to find those people that are going to be the people that you're ride and die, that you can trust, that will literally push you when you don't have enough magic and continue to support you and give you hope. Because 100%. Like, if you don't have hope in this life, then like,
what do you have?
What do you have? It's almost like you're living for nothing. And unfortunately, I feel like so many people live hopelessly. They feel like they have nothing to live for. And that's so sad, because there is so much to live for in this life. There's so much that you can do. And I think that trying to find what to hope for, trying to find what to look forward to every single day is one of the most important things in this life that we should be trying to do. And if you can do that, everything else will slowly take place, and the pieces of the puzzle will continue to unfold until you have this, magical life and magical like picture.
Yeah, 100%. I totally agree on that. And I think another thing kind of contradicting what we were saying before, but also not, about how things may not always be what they seem, but in almost the opposite way. Because like I said before, the people of Halloweentown, they were Halloween like creatures. Like there were goblins and witches and all these other creatures that looked different. They didn't look like people from the human world. And so at first, watching it as a kid, it was kind of like scary. And I think it was kind of like that for like Marnie and her siblings. And it's very much like
the skeleton taxi driver. Gosh, I'm sure they were like, what?
No, don't. I won't get in that car. Like, I'm walking everywhere. So if that's the only taxi, looks like you don't get a tip from me. No. But I like how like the people in Halloweentown looked like scary. They looked different. And like Marnie and her family, her grandma and her mom, they all like, look, they were normal. They were just witches. But like there were so many of these creatures that ended up helping them in the end, and ended up like being like almost like the saviors of the town. And you contrast that to Kalabar, who on the outside looks fine and normal, and he looks like the guy that you want to trust. And I think that goes to say that like like you're saying, we shouldn't judge a book by its cover, because just because you look like something on the outside, that doesn't mean who you are on the inside. And I think we should also just get to know people before you judge them. It doesn't matter what your very first impression of them may be, what they look like in some certain scenario. Because judging based off appearance, based off of whatever you may validate as a good judgment, that doesn't mean that's who those people actually are. And in Halloweentown, those people were kind to them. They helped them. They literally fueled her magic in the last scene. And even in the later movies, they end up helping them and being very good to their family. So I think that goes to say that just because something may look a certain way, that doesn't mean it's how it is on the inside. And we see that with the people of Halloweentown, how they ended up being, some of Marnie's biggest supporters in the end, even though, like, at first, all of us watching were like, oh, I don't like
goblin, skeleton.
It's like they're actually the kindest people, and some of them are sure better than the humans in the human world.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I think that you're so right that I think in this world we become too comfortable judging people by their appearances, or we almost had this facade that, like, we had gotten over judging by appearances. Oh, we don't judge by race, we don't judge by gender, or all these things. And it's almost like we told ourselves this, but we hadn't actually embodied it, or it was just hidden that we still do judge people like that, and we just don't say it out loud. And unfortunately, it's more and more you see the loud part of it is coming out. But I think that you're right. We shouldn't judge people based on how they look, because how someone looks doesn't make them all the time. Like, there can be so much more to them, whether that be good or bad, that you may not see from a first glance or from your appearances. And so I think that inclusivity and trying to find a way to make sure everyone belongs, make sure everyone feels welcome, and also making sure that before we start judging, we get to know someone, and then we can judge. I'm not saying, like, if someone is weird after you get to know them and you don't vibe with them, you don't have to be best friends with them. Still treat them with respect, of course. Still treat them as a human being, and say hi, be friendly, but we're not saying be besties with everyone. We're just saying that, like, don't judge people by their cover, by their faces or their appearances. And also don't go too far if you don't like someone, or someone is, like, genuinely abusive or bad. Continue to stay with them. Like, get away. Please.
Done. It's not even a joke.
We don't need no Kalabars in our lives.
Yeah, I'm good, bro. I'll take Aggie. I'll take the grandma.
Oh my gosh, Aggie, we love her.
Well, my queen. But I think that's kind of all we have for today. Happy Halloween. Hope you have a very spooky Halloween. But make sure you leave this video a good comment. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. We post every single day on our TikTok and Instagram, so make sure to comment on those videos, give it a like, and give us a follow. And if you are listening to this on any other platform for our podcast, make sure you give us a 5-star review, 5-star and a good review. And I guess we'll see you guys next week.
Okay, bye.